What is up, guys? Hassan Malik back here again. And today I want to talk about something that may not seem that important to some of you, but it brings up a lot of questions about the future of LEGO and the sets they make. So today we will be discussing why LEGO Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order probably won't be happening for the foreseeable future, and how LEGO is going through a little bit of an identity crisis. Real quick, before we get into the video, I just wanted to give a reminder that the giveaway is closed. Yes, it is finally over. It was open for about a month. Thank you to everyone who entered and subscribed. I will be announcing the winner in the next video, which should be out in 3 days. That's usually the upload schedule I follow. If you didn't get a chance to enter, do not worry. I will be running another giveaway with the same format as this one pretty soon. So make sure to subscribe to enter when it does get announced. Alright, back to the video. So this whole thing started with an interview Brickset did with a couple of LEGO Star Wars set designers, and please bear with me while I try to pronounce their names. Jens Kronvold Fredrickson and Mitchell Lee Stockwell. I apologize if I butchered those. Anyways, so a lot of very good questions were asked during the interview. It's a very good read. I'll leave a link in the description below. Most of the questions had to do with the Mandalorian, specifically the Razor Crest, and the process the designers went through in making it. But there were a couple questions about Jedi Fallen Order at the end that the designers had a pretty interesting answer to, which I'll go ahead and read for you guys now. So in the article, Brickset asked, Jedi Fallen Order was released alongside The Mandalorian and was proven extremely popular. Was consideration given to producing sets from Jedi Fallen Order? Michael then answered, that was certainly on the table and we did discuss it. However, video games present different challenges to the movies and television shows because their age ratings can affect the products we release. Jens also answered, anticipating what might become popular is another challenge. We always try to decide what will appeal to as many people as possible, of course, but it can be difficult. The age rating was probably the most important factor though. After all, we are primarily making toys for children. Brickset then asked a very good follow-up question asking, I believe every Star Wars movie since Revenge of the Sith has been marked as 12 or 12A, which is roughly equivalent to Jedi Fallen Order in most markets. Michael answered, yes, although we have a much greater understanding of what that will mean in the context of movies than we do with video games. We know roughly what the level of violence might be, for example, whereas video games can be more unpredictable in that regard. And Jens answered, what I would also say is that the age ratings do not necessarily remain constant. Those characters might appear outside the game in future, and you never know what could happen in that event. And that was the end of the article. So let's break this down. First of all, I'm glad the designers actually considered making Jedi Fallen Order sets, and that there was an actual discussion on it. But the main takeaway from their answer to the first question here is that due to the age rating of Jedi Fallen Order, which is rated T for teens and PEGI 16 for European countries, that the game's content is then too mature for a younger audience, which is the demographic LEGO is attempting to reach. And this is where I'd have to disagree. I've been collecting LEGO Star Wars sets as a kid all the way till now as an adult, and throughout my time of being in this community, I've always felt that LEGO has been dancing around the fact that they have an older audience, an adult audience. There's even a name for us, AFOLs, Adult Fans of LEGO. I'm sure you're all very familiar with that term. In the beginning, LEGO always stuck to their guns about designing sets that are primarily targeted for kids, which is perfectly fine since that's what LEGO is, it's a toy for kids. Even in the past, like the year 2000, LEGO did make a few sets here and there that were recommended for ages 14 and up, like the UCS X-Wing and UCS TIE Interceptor, which are clearly targeting an older audience. But now let's fast forward to 2020, where we have 27 regular retail LEGO Star Wars sets this year, 5 of which are recommended for ages 18 and up, which is actually higher than the age rating of Jedi Fallen Order. And LEGO has been making a bigger push of stepping into this older demographic, whether it be sets based on themes like Stranger Things, or introducing an entire theme of just LEGO art that is meant to be displayed in a house. Another great recent example of this is the new LEGO NES set that is so clearly targeted at people who grew up with that console. Which is pretty crazy because even I'm technically too young to fully appreciate this set, and I'm an adult. You can also see this new strategy in their marketing, designing box art with a very minimal black and almost a professional look. These sets are meant to look high-end. So LEGO has definitely accepted that yes, adults buy LEGO too, and are designing sets around that. Therefore, when I hear in this interview that a potential idea for a set that fans have been asking for quite a bit is thrown out because it is considered too mature, I'm just confused. that doesn't make any sense with what the company has been doing in the past few years. And this is where I feel that LEGO Star Wars is having a little bit of an identity crisis, not knowing if it's meant for kids or for adults. But the thing is, they don't really need to choose one or the other, they can do both. I feel that LEGO only sort of has one foot in the door when it comes to making adult sets, when they should just be opening that door and walking right on in. There's no need for LEGO to fear targeting an older audience now, since that's what they are currently doing. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, maybe they just don't think that sets based on Jedi Fallen Order would do very well, so they didn't make them. Even though that wasn't really the answer the designer gave in the interview, I'll take that point and counter it with the fact that Jedi Fallen Order had the fastest selling launch of any Star Wars game. Yes, any. So it is definitely more popular than Battlefront 1 and 2, which LEGO did make sets on. And both those sets have the same age rating as Jedi Fallen Order. So if those games were popular and have a low enough recommended age to warrant sets based on them, then this game definitely does too. Now, Brickset does ask them a very good second question, in that every Star Wars movie since Revenge of the Sith has been marked as 12 or 12A, which is not very far off of Jedi Fallen Order's recommended age. And the designer's answer stated that violence in video games can be unpredictable, and that we don't really know how these characters would act later, and that they could end up doing violent things in the future. Pretty much the potential violence that could come from video game characters makes it difficult to judge whether sets based on them would be appropriate. And before I really give my thoughts on this, I just want to say, Jedi Fallen Order is not that violent of a video game, like not at all. It very much follows the Disney and Star Wars levels of violence, and I'd actually argue that it's less violent than a lot of Star Wars media. For example, there is a very famous scene in Star Wars where our hero character becomes a murdering psychopath, chokes out his wife, attempts to murder his best friend, and then is dismembered and burnt alive. And are there any LEGO Star Wars sets targeted at children depicting this scene? Yes sir, there are. We actually got a great little Duel on Mustafar set this year for $20 and is recommended for ages, get this, 7 and up. Like, how does that make any sense? I do want to add that I don't think Star Wars is very violent at all. I mean, it does have its moments, but in general, it's very safe for children to watch. I mean, even George always says Star Wars is meant for kids. Now, I probably wouldn't let a 7-year-old watch Revenge of the Sith, but I'm no expert on children or anything, and I don't have any of my own, so that's pretty unqualified advice on my part. I could sit here and give you all the examples of violence or violent characters in Star Wars, but then this video would go on forever. Like, by that logic, there shouldn't really be a LEGO Darth Vader. I mean, he is very, very evil and does some pretty violent things. Now, I do think someone in Jedi Fallen Order does say the B word at one point, but if that's the criteria for a LEGO set not being appropriate, then there are a whole bunch of sets that need to be taken off store shelves immediately. But coming back to the set designer's answer, I'd want to let him know that you guys already make many sets based on scenes and characters that don't have the potential for violence, but are in fact already violent. Also, I'm not sure if they've actually played Jedi Fallen Order, but I think if they did, they'd understand it's not much different from a lot of other Star Wars. Now, a lot of you guys are probably thinking, damn, why is this guy so cheesed they aren't making LEGO Jedi Fallen Order stuff? And that's just cause it's one of my favorite parts of Star Wars right now. I'm a huge gaming, Star Wars, and LEGO nerd, so I'd love to see these sets happen. Just think of all the potential sets and minifigures we're missing out on, like this Mantis by Mozski, or this BD-1 by Brick Boys Custom Designs. There's also so many great characters that would look awesome in LEGO, like this custom Cal Kestis by Firestar Toys, or these custom Clone and Purge Troopers by Bagels for Real. And I was also bored, so I made some custom box art on what a potential Jedi Fallen Order set could look like. I hope you guys like it. Now, before I end the video, I just want to say I don't mean any disrespect to those designers or LEGO. They do amazing work with this theme, and if it sounds like I'm being aggressive or attacking them, I apologize, since that's not what I'm trying to do. I know this video does probably sound like a bit of a rant. I love LEGO Star Wars and want to see it thrive and be amazing. That's why I critique it and voice my opinion when I think there's something they could be doing better. It's all just constructive criticism. So those are my thoughts on the possibility of LEGO Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order sets and the identity crisis LEGO is going through at the moment. Let me know what you guys think about this, whether you agree with me or not. I want to know your thoughts on this topic. So whatever you're thinking, anything and everything, leave it in the comments below. But that is pretty much going to do it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.